Yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm getting all set up here this morning, Monday. Today's the 8th. Yay! I got a day off in order for me to do the readings. If you are on YouTube, good morning, welcome. If you're on Facebook, good morning, welcome. I do live readings once a week. If you are on my channel and you are subscribed, you will see me once a week. Now I do those, and you can have. Oops, let me get that there. So I do these lives once a week, and they're general readings, and then I go if I have the time. Um, Let me see if I can do this. I'm trying to do two things at once, guys, and I don't know if it's going to work. Let me see here. All right. Hang on. Let's see here. I'm trying to do a couple things, and I am a boomer, so give me a chance here. There we go. Loading. It looks like Facebook dropped off. So anyway, um, there we go. Anyway, so I'm going to do a reading for the 10th, the weekend of the 10th. We did last week's, and so I'm going to get ready to do that here. And I hope that your Earth. I'm going to do them all separately. So I'll do all of them: Virgo, Cancer, Leo, all those separately. All right. So we'll do. Oh, welcome if you're brand new. I appreciate you coming. I call my group my community warriors because we're in a spiritual battle, whether we like it or not. And so our choices and our decisions to what we're going to make for this coming week or any part of our life is a huge energy shift in whichever way that you want to go, whichever frequency you are on. So definitely want to pay attention to, I guess, your mindset, and which way you think, in a high frequency or a low frequency. If you're thinking in a high vibration or low vibration, and a lot of that has to do a mind shift. So that's why I teach transformation mindset. I coach in transformation mindset, and it's to help you grow to be a better self, or help you with your challenges and your struggles, and trying to get through that mountain. Just plow through it, because a lot of the times we just want to skip it and go over it and all that kind of stuff. So we've got to be mindful in how we move. Okay. Definitely have to be mindful in how we move. Okay. Let's see. I am going to cancel out of Facebook. So we are not going to do Facebook, guys. I am such a boomer. I am such a boomer. All right. So let's get going with the reading. This is going to be for the 10th. And if you're just tuning in, I'm Patty with Divine Warrior Intuitive. Welcome, welcome. I'm just sort of waking up, you guys. So bear with me. I've got to do a hair appointment, but I am just waking up. All right. So for those of you that are brand new, what I do is, this deck here is the overall energy. This is from the source. This is from divine it's his self, or he's an energy. So whether you call divine, God, universe, Allah, whoever, Buddha, whoever you call your higher power that you go to, then this is the deck that I'm using. Overall energy right here. Pay attention to it, because in all reality, it's a message for somebody. He's trying to reach out and give that message to you. So if it doesn't resonate with you, we'll pull the cards and see if there's anything else that resonates with you. All right. So let's see what's going on this morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. How you doing this morning? All right. So we've got the Awakening Genius. It's the number 2 in numerology. Love this card because if I don't see the new, if we don't see the tumble card, I see the Tower card and I'm thinking tumbling down. Because the great thing about the Tower card is a lot of people think it's not a good card. It's actually one of the better cards because it's giving you more clarity, okay? Because things seem to be, so I always say when I'm coaching, when things seem to be falling apart, they're actually coming together because it's making you aware of what's not working in your life and it's showing you what is, right? Good morning. Good morning. Is it Abraham? Abraham fan? Well, good morning. So when it seems like it's falling apart, it's actually coming together. So if you've got things in your life right now that are falling different, or maybe you just have to change something up, baby step. So let's take, for example, my leather business. Okay. I've done things for 20 some years a certain way, but when COVID hit, okay, I was like, okay, this is not working anymore. I'm not making as much money. What do I need to change and do different to make the sales come back in? So I repair a lot of equestrian equipment and I do all kinds of things like that. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to custom make some horse equipment. So I did that. Great. And it started to move my sales up a little bit. But the other thing is that when I did that, then I'm like, okay, but I need to do it a little bit more to the next level. How do I do that? Well, my daughter says, Mom, you should sell them on Etsy. And I'm like, well, Etsy's for, handmade stuff. And she goes, duh, you make handmade stuff. So I did it. And then also when I did that, I started getting more and more sales. So you have to have a mindset of openness. That's what this awakening genius is. And maybe that's what he's sharing with you in June and July, especially July. We've got so many energies between the planets happening that it is phenomenal. So, this is like a baby step to an awakening energy. So, what is not working? Reevaluate, pay attention to, because there's an idea or there's a thought. He's having me to look at the crown chakra. I definitely oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Talking about my smile. Ooh, the one that I really hate. I really don't like my smile. But anyway, so looking at the third eye chakra and paying attention to what is up here, a vision. Thank you. So when you have a vision, write it down because this is all energy. You can keep it in there and have the vision, write it down. And if you need to hide it from somebody so somebody doesn't steal your idea or whatever, write it down, speak it into existence because we can hold energy, but sometimes the universe, as we think it, it's one vibration. As we speak it, it's a different vibration and it brings it to life. So we want to bring our visions to life that we can grow to whatever we're supposed to do. So maybe that's the awakening thing. Do you have a vision board or do you even know what a vision board is? I'm going to turn this off because Facebook's going wacky. A vision board is, well, the vision board, you just put your ideas up, whether it's a picture from a magazine. Is there even magazines anymore? But wherever, take a digital picture, print it out, put it on the wall, whatever it is, because this turns a pipe dream into a real dream. Okay, so whatever that is for you, there is definitely a shift happening. I'll be really surprised. I won't be surprised, but I would be happy if the tower car comes in. All right. So let's see what the general energy is for you through this awakening of whatever you're having. Now, this awakening may be, I'm hearing it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a health situation that maybe you just need to start taking better care, eating differently, changing. Diets don't work. Listen, I have a nutrition and fitness degree, guys. That's what that book is back there. But the thing is that diets don't work. You have to find something that works for you, that is a lifestyle change that you can sustain. Okay, if you cannot sustain, if you're on a diet and you think, okay, can I sustain this for a year or 2 years? And is it healthy for my body to do this for a year or 2 years? Keto diets are great to lose weight really, really quick, but it kills your kidneys. It really works on your organs. So, can you sustain this? So, for your health, when people are trying to lose weight, because somebody need to be able to sustain. Okay. So the energies for someone out there is the water fairy. It's the number 10. Sorry. Feelings and emotions. Okay. And when this card comes up a lot, to me, what my energies that I get from this is that somebody is not in control of their feelings. Okay. So this might be awakening for you in how you're running your life, because are you controlling your feelings, or your feelings going to control you? So when this fairy comes up, it means a lot, because as a feminine, we are very emotional beings. Okay. We run our life a lot on emotions, but are those emotions in check? Are they accurate? Because I might be on one page and somebody else might be on another page, and you get in a little kerfuffle because of um oops, somebody contacted me, so sorry about that. We get in a kerfuffle because we're not on the same page, and then we get in the kerfuffle because what happens is our emotions are taking over, rather than saying, okay, hmm, that's an interesting thought. I never thought it that way. That's your perspective. Tell me more. Let me have more clarity. Why do you come to tarot? To get more clarity. Okay. So, this is a thing where, are your emotions controlling you, or are you controlling your emotions? Because when we get clarity, which is the awakening Jesus, well, you could be Jesus, genius right now, is you need more clarity. They've got the number 10 and we got the number 11. Breaking things apart, new things coming in. This has been a lot. This year has been a lot about release and allow. If you don't release, then can't allow new to come in. So let's see what tarot is going to bring in for somebody here. And then I'll go through love and career as well. All right. But this is for the week of the 10th. And I'm doing that because we're already on the 8th. All right. So we're going to do this for the 10th. Energies forward for the rest of the week. Yeah, definitely some movement here. Interesting. Let's go ahead and see what else, though, there's going on. Does somebody feel like they've got a shift happening in them? Like, how do I explain it? So it's like an unsettling energy, like a nervousness, or like, God, I just wish I knew, or I wish I had a more clear picture of it. I wish I would really know how things are going to move. I'll tell you, I do right now. I do right now. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Celine. Celine. Welcome. Welcome. All right. And just for those of you that are brand new, thank you for coming. This channel, which is my little community, very small but growing, I hope. We're called Warriors. So we're in a spiritual battle. And you can answer a question at the very end, but I don't. This is a general reading. But you can ask a question at the end. But this is definitely my little warrior team. All right. We are in a battle, and you know what? The war isn't over, but we may lose a battle, but the war isn't over. All right. So we are going to win the war. All right, let's see what's going on here. So we're going to do the general, and then we'll go to love and then career. All right. So there is movement, but there is some decision making that's going to happen. And this is where that awakening is. You're really going to have to decide. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Alexander. Where you're going to have to make a decision. This is where that awakening is. Don't let your feelings control the situation or the decision. Let the truth follow. Okay, so you're letting your feelings control it rather than controlling your feelings. So this is where intuition comes in, guys. Everybody has intuition. So this is where this decision making comes in. Okay. This is going to be sort of a game changer for somebody, because they're so used to being in their earth head and listening to their head, that they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to try something different. Again, that's that awakening spirit saying, let's try something different because that sure didn't work out for you. So definitely there's movement because this is definitely something that somebody is going to have to make a decision on because we have the Six of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Death card. So we have the number 10 right there. Boom, boom, 10 and the Death card. And the 20 on the Death card is actually two. So it's trying to bring something together in a higher light and wake you up to what it is. However, you're really struggling with this thing. Whatever it is you're struggling with, because you have the Seven of Wands. It's like, I have to make this decision, but I don't know which way to go. This is a really interesting reading because, I listen to some tarot readers because there's some that are actually in spirit and some are just full people using chat GBT and all this shit that it doesn't really, it's not spiritual, it's not intuition, it's not downloading, it's not connecting. You got to be careful, guys, who you listen to. But this is something internal that somebody is trying to make a decision about. I'm going to tell you right now, it's easier to make a decision in your head because that's low vibrational a lot of the times because we're self sabotaging, we're our self-esteem is low, or we're telling our stuff crap that we shouldn't be because that really squishes our vibrations and our frequencies down. So you really need to lift that vibration and that frequency up. And how do you do that? Pay attention to your intuition and what your spirit keeps trying to tell you over and over and over again. All right. Welcome. Welcome. Michelle, welcome. Good morning. So, really pay attention to what your spirit and your intuition is telling you, okay? Because on the flip side of this, okay, going through this general reading, is that you have the Ace of Swords. You've got this is like a push me, pull me doll. Or if you've watched the movie Dr. Doolittle, there's like an animal that looks like a llama, and but instead of his butt, the other side is another head, and it's always pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling. That's you doing that to yourself because you're not getting clarity. You're trying to make a decision, but you keep going into the past. Well, this happened before, or they were like this before. Oh, this new person is just like the last one. You're going to the crap from the past, okay? And that's what's holding you back from getting this opportunity of something good that is trying to move in your future in June, the rest of June. But again, don't let your feelings control you because it can really screw you freaking up. And that's the thing with the fairies. They can fly and flutter all over the place. And anything that can fly and flutter is usually something that you really got to pay attention to. Again, awaken. Okay. And the reason why you got to watch, and I'm seeing people, I'm seeing like somebody going in and out of a relationship. We're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, going in and out of a relationship, going in and out of situations like you never finish something and then you've given an excuse why you didn't finish it. And that's why this is something that you really got to pay attention to because why are you not finishing it? Why do you go from relationship to relationship? This is where we got to get down to the roots of why that's happening. And this is the awakening part. Okay. And, that's why when I coach, I have a couple Facebook groups that I connect with on sexual abuse because a lot of the times our triggers, we don't know them for many, many years. It's like, why is that? In fact, I just had one come up and I was like, oh, that's why that's when I'm up there in age a little bit, but why didn't I figure this out in my 20s, 30s, 40s? I wasn't ready. Okay. So a lot of the times when we have to fight, 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 fight for something, we may not be getting it because we're not ready. Okay. We may think we're ready with our head, but spiritually, the divine and universe and the frequencies are saying, we give it to you now, it's going to screw up. So you're going to screw this up if we give it to you now. So let's hold off because we want that opportunity to stick. Like a diet, it needs to sustain you, because that's why in nutrition we don't use diet per se. We change it to a lifestyle, of behavior, eating behavior, and a lifestyle, and that kind of a thing. And so this is where you sabotage not only yourself, but you also sabotage relationships, you sabotage a job, you sabotage. I keep hearing the word gossip at work. There's a ton of gossip at work. Are you part of that, or is somebody part of that? Again, this is the awakening to stay away from that, because that can hold you back. Okay. Or the gossip, if you start gossiping, it's going to bite you in the ass, because somebody that you didn't want to hear is going to hear. And then there's where you're going to get bit in the ass, because you're like, oh shit, I just got caught. All right. Welcome, welcome. So, what I love about this, though, is that the sun is the outcome of this. So there's light at the end of the rainbow, or whatever you want to call it. This is the number 3. So again, we have that celebration of things turning around, things happening, things working out. But it's up to you, because it depends on which way you got woke. Okay. And I don't mean this new woke stuff. I mean your spirit and you got together, made a decision, you listened to your intuition. Because you have the 6 and you have 2 sevens, you have 2 tens. So there is something coming to a vision board. A vision board is just something that you put up, that it's okay, bucket list. Everybody knows what a bucket list is. A vision board is similar to that, but it's for goals. So I have a bucket list. I want to go to Bali. I want to, give my daughter a lot of money to help her in her life. I want to make my leather job my full-time job, those kind of things. Whatever your goals are, you should have at least 3 or 4 goals that will happen, now, and then the next year, and then maybe the next year after that, and you shoot for those. Maybe you just want to buy a kayak, or you want to buy a hot tub, or you want to go to school, or whatever it is that you want. Definitely. Welcome, welcome, Ms. Pavan. Pavan. Is that how I say it? Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm surprised that people from all over the world watch this, and I'm very grateful. And I'm even more grateful and appreciative that you guys subscribe. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that you want to watch me, and I love it, and I thank you very, very much. All right. So let's see what's going on here. I'm going to get clarification. Okay. And then we'll go into love and then career. So, this energy that is trying to move is the Empress, which is the number 3. And that is moving in a direction of taking care of yourself, doing things that you want, not what somebody else wants, not what you've been trained to do, not what somebody tells you to do. And it's going to take work. This is something that's been coming up in your life that has been repeated over and over. So, what is it that keeps repeating in your life? Is it, the same type of relationships that are not working out? Is it that you've got job after job and that's not working out? That you're in school and you're studying something, and it's just a fight and a struggle and it's not working out, because we have the 3 of pentacles. Okay, so we have the 8 of pentacles next to the empress, and then we have the 3 of pentacles in reverse. So it's like it's not, you're not learning the lesson. Maybe for everybody, even me. But it's like you're not learning the lesson, so it keeps repeating. It's like the number 9. It keeps revolving over and over and over and over and over, and never stops until, again, like we said in the very beginning, that we begin to change the mindset, awaken to a different mindset. Okay. It's like, thank you. So it's like, as they tell me, in America, we have this saying called you're beating a dead horse. When you beat a dead horse, it's doing absolutely nothing. Okay. So, and we have, maybe because I'm from the country, or love horses. But we have that saying. And so, what are you beating over and over that's not working? Get rid of it. Stop it. Eliminate it. And the reason why you need to stop or eliminate it, it doesn't serve you anymore, so it's holding you back from seeing what your vision is that you want for your future. I heard toxic. Now, is it a toxic relationship, a toxic habit? Okay. Yes, you can be addicted to food. Okay. This is something that has come up a lot this week, because not only because nutrition is part of my, you know, education, but the thing is that it's come up a lot because in America, we are obese and we're eating horribly and we're eating a ton of processed foods. And the thing is, when I was bodybuilding, yeah, you would never know it, but I used to compete and we had to eat clean, 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 clean. And so the thing is, what is it that is toxic that needs to move? When you do step into just one thing, baby thing, when you step into this, it is going to take patience. It is going to take a little bit of time because you're not used to being, woke to whatever it is. Or now that you know and not in denial. I heard denial. Somebody's in denial. Oh no, it's okay. And you're making excuses and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's going to hold you. It's going to keep you right where you are, like the elephant stuck in the mud. And even though it can get out because the mud's only to the knees, it can get out. You choose to stay stuck. This is not being woken. Divine, universe, whoever you believe in, your higher power, you need to pay attention to what's going on. Yep. Well, and you have to ask yourself, what is that peace to you? What is that peace? What is peace to you? Some people's peace is having, say, if they had cancer, good health. What is your peace? And what is it that you need to do to make that peace happen? Sometimes when I was, like I said, when I was bodybuilding, um, we sabotage ourselves and make excuses for ourselves all the time. But okay, but when I did that, my mom was the biggest saboteur and I had to divorce her for a year. I called it divorcing her, which was just stepping back, not really talking to her much, checking in once in a while. But because every time I would talk to her, oh, you're on that diet. Oh, you think you're going to do it? You've yo yo dieted so many times. And let me tell you, for one solid year, I went from 215 or 220 pounds down to 136, all muscle, honest. I needed to do this for myself. And if you've got kids, you got to do it for the kids. So, what is your peace? What is your peace? And this is where it's going to take standing up for yourself and the patience and the courage to do it. And that's what this awakening is. It's an awakening that it's like, yeah, you know what? I can do this. And sometimes we need resources to do that. Okay. And there's a million resources. If you're in the United States, let me tell you, I went from being homeless one year because I was making shitty decisions to a business owner in 1 year because I said, you know what? I got to clean my freaking act up. I need to make better decisions. This is what I want. Here's my vision board. This is where I want to be in a year. Boom. Owned a business in 1 year. Okay. You know what? She doesn't hurt you unless you allow her to hurt you. Because I don't know your age, but as a grown person, you know what? You're not going to hurt me anymore. And it's okay to step back. It's okay to step back. Step back and just say, you know what? And you be verbal. Put that energy out there. This is an awakening, but you do it with maturity and eloquence because you're controlling your feelings. Just say, you know what? And here's what I did to my mom. I said, you know what? You always say that I'm never going to do this. That's not something I need to hear right now. I need somebody in my corner. And if you cannot be in my corner, then I need to step back. And I did that when I was having my daughter in the hospital. Because she's an old RN, a surgical RN, and pediatrics. And so I knew she would try to take control of the nurses and everything. I said, Mom, I said, I love you. However, when we go into the delivery room, it's just me and her dad. That's it. And then it was like I stabbed her in the heart. She went and talked to me, all this manipulative stuff to get into the delivery room. And I was like, no, I had personal reasons why I needed to do that. And I didn't want that to happen. So I had to make the decision. And you know what? This woke her butt up that I was grown. I was grown and I can make decisions myself. And you know what? You're not gonna and if you allow those feelings to take over of hurt, that's on you because you know what? Nobody can hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you. Okay? That's loving yourself. That's loving your kids. And for the longest time, if I couldn't do it for myself, I'd say, you know what? I need to do this for my daughter. I don't want her to have that toxic environment. You either talk positive and lift her up, or you don't say anything at all. I even had her dad, because she's half Asian. I even had her dad. I said, no, you can't see your daughter because your side of the family is saying that she's half white. Oh, she stinks. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. And you know what? That's destructive to your daughter. Okay. So the thing is, you have to be strong and be able to do that. And it just takes some patience to allow yourself to get that courage. And once you do it, you're going to get that peace and it's going to feel really good. And you will come back together, but it'll come back on your terms, not your mom's terms or anybody, whoever this is for. I'm just giving you experiences from me. I can't say what works for you, but I can give you ideas because I'm a freaking old boomer that will help you in that manner of maybe doing that. All right. So, yeah, speaking of the devil, and I haven't even gone that far, this is what's going to happen. You need strength and courage. Well, nobody can turn your kids against you, but you allow that. So don't let somebody do that, especially if you're a good person, you're a mom, you're a dad, or this could be a dad. These are my children, they're not your children. And as long as I'm not doing anything destructive, and I'm teaching them how to succeed in life, because our goal as parents is to succeed in life. Okay. This sometimes we are selfish with kids. That's why when I say when somebody wants kids, it's like, why? Why do you want kids? Oh, we just want kids. And okay, you're in your 40s and these kids are going to be 10 years old. You're going to be in your 50s and they're going to school and their parents are in their 20s, 30s. A lot of the time we have kids for selfish reasons, and we have to realize, why do we want these children? We need to be ready to be selfless when we have children, because our job when we have children is to bring them up to succeed or have things better than what we had, but not to enable or make them feel like they are entitled. My job as a parent is making sure that my daughter has the skills and the tools and everything to succeed in life, or I haven't done my job. And now she is on her way. And it's hard for me because I all my time raising her. So when she goes off, it is really hard as an empty nester because you could see it, but then you sit there back, I did a good job. She's on her way. She's succeeding. She's on her own and she's going to make it, because one day I'm gone and I want to make sure my kids or my kid had the best thing and that I could give them was a way to handle life, succeed in life, and deal with the shit that's going to be thrown at you. All right. So I got away with that. But definitely, this is going to take strength for some somebody because they keep going to the past. They keep looking at the past, but look at this beautiful, wonderful energy. This is a spiritual battle for somebody. This is a huge spiritual battle because somebody's letting their head get in the way all the time. Head when we this is the thing about Earth. Okay. You can throw your frequencies off like that in your thinking process and how you think and where you think from. So if you look at the earth and the way that we get trained is that we believe mind, spirit, body, right? You hear it all the time mind, spirit, body, mind, spirit, body. Well, that is freaking backwards. Okay. And the way that I say it and the way that I think it is because people need to be awoke to where they start their thinking from because it starts from your spirit, your intuition. Everybody has this and they know they have it because there's been situations where they're like, okay, wow, that's a coincidence. Oh, I thought about that and wow, it happened. We have this spirit of intuition in us and that we're tries to guide us. So what happens with your spirit tells your head, hey, this is what I want you to do, don't do that. But then I go and do this because that's the earth brain talking, saying I'm just going to go do that rather than listening to my intuition, following that, make it an easier, probably more peaceful path than going this way. And then I've got to do that. Did that one time. I was like, I was being tested, and it was like, oh crap, I didn't pass that test, did I? That was the second time it went through, and they're like, yep, you didn't pass. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it next time, and I did because I realized and I was awoke, and I paid attention that this was the second time this lesson happened. Okay. So again, this is being the awoke part of you and listening to your spirit first, because your spirit talks to your head and says, hey, do this, don't do this, think this way. Because your spirit doesn't talk about self sabotage. It doesn't say, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so fat and ugly. I'm so this, I'm so that. It doesn't do that because spirit is love. Love doesn't put you down. Love is not destructive. Love is constructive. So spirit talks to mind. Mind talks to your body, how to think and how to do this stuff and how to say and how to act. So a lot of the times love will say, you know, don't say that. That's sort of mean. Don't say that. That's destructive. But you say, wow, you're a fucking stupid idiot. Okay. So that comes out, but did you listen to your spirit? No, you didn't. So a lot of the times people start here, and this is where the feelings and emotions take over because you're listening here first rather than listening from love and intuition. Well, that's the number nine. You will. You'll keep going through it. You got to sort of cut that cycle. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Well, let's go into love. What's going on for love this week? And love can be when people do love readings and they're like, oh, this person's going to come and blah, 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 all this week. And then they don't come. And then you're disappointed and you don't believe in tarot and stuff. But the thing is, are they getting the downloads? And love can come in friendship. Love can come in acquaintance. Love can come in a word. Love can come in health, helping somebody. Love can come in, yeah, relationship. Love can come in intimacy. Love comes in all ways. So I'll share a story while I'm shuffling, while I can't shuffle, obviously. Um, I remember I started dating this person years and years and years ago. And something told me that we were going to end up together. Right. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, but you got to learn as an empath. Again, this is where my feelings of where I should have shut my mouth and kept my mouth shut. Because as we grew into, a little bit more intimate and more of a relationship, I said, I love you. But I meant it. I love you as a friend. I love that spending time with you. I love sharing things with you. I love our friendship. But that person took "I love you" like, "Oh my god, she said I love you. Oh my god," and it scared the shit out of them. And they backtracked like no tomorrow. And I explained to them, being as a spiritual person, this is what we want. We want to give love, and that's what we want to receive. We want to give love and receive love. And so they took it as, oh my God, she's going nuts. She's wacko. So, but we are still great friends today. And we're still together as friends. Love of a friendship. So, I mean, but you got to be careful when you say those words. All right. All right. So we have the Nine of Wands. Again, Nine of Pentacles. Live. Then we've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Look at those nines. Repeat pattern. This is a pattern from the past that is repeating. Okay. I don't know who this is, but I'm seeing a couple energies here. Energies I'm seeing is one that somebody's going after somebody for their money. Okay. Or somebody's afraid that somebody's going after them for their money because somebody worked really, really hard. They have done their due diligence. Okay, thank you. And they're also saying somebody's love language is gifts. Oh, excuse me. But the gifts, the thing is, that's from the past, and you're from a place of hurt because if you weren't given, so you got to, this is again where this awakening spirit is coming from, is this really your love language? Or is it the love language that you didn't receive as a child? We a lot of times love somebody because it's something we did not receive as a child. Okay. And then feel appreciated. It makes me feel whatever. What does it and what is it? And I love it in the comments. What is your love language? Is it somebody sharing affirmations? Is it gifts, gift giving? Is it service? Is it doing something for somebody, making them feel good by the things that you do for them? Or, what is yours? Do you like receiving things like maybe the house, you come home and the house is clean and you just had a hard day of work, you're like, oh wow, this is nice, I don't have to do this, those kind of things. This is something that really in the love language you've got to be paying attention to, because you have the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Okay, so whatever that is, it's not working. So really pay attention to what it is that you're telling yourself. And if your needs are not being met, then that's not the right person that you're with. Okay. And I've done this many a times. I sometimes don't like being an empath because I see too much, and being a medium and all my abilities, I see too much in the future and it's like, damn it, they're not my person. They're really not my person. So it's like, even though I wanted that person to be my person, they're not my person. And so I have to politely draw back because it's not what I need. Even though we've had conversations, we've spent time together, I was able to ask the questions to see if we're in the same book. I ask the questions to see if we're in the same chapter. I ask them to see if we're in the same page. And even if we're just in the same chapters, okay, maybe it's got a chance, but we're not on the same page. We might not mix. Okay. Sometimes we're not even in the same book. Okay. So those, and it doesn't mean that we can't be an acquaintance. It's just that you're not my person. Okay. I guess that's the new terminology, not my person. So something is not working for somebody, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen, because you've got a lot of beautiful change here in June. A lot of beautiful change here in June. And this is going to be dependent on your vibrations. You can either say, oh man, we broke up, or this didn't happen. And you're looking at the negative, you're looking at the low vibrations rather than saying, thank you. Thank you for showing me why it didn't work so that I don't have to go through this lesson again, whether it's work, whether it's love, whether it's friendships, whether whatever it is. Whether you bought something and you're like, oh crap, I shouldn't have bought it. Can I return it? Return it. If it doesn't fit the time right now, then time to go. Doesn't mean that things don't come back around. However, this lesson isn't being learned. Okay. All right. No, yeah. Well, you don't trust anyone because your picker's off. So you're finding that patterns of people that you keep doing, and this is a lot in relationships. I'm not going to get into coaching, but the thing is, this happens a lot in relationships because you haven't changed your mindset and you've allowed your feelings to go rather than pay attention to the red signs, pay attention to whatever. I can say I don't trust a lot of people, but I don't say I don't trust all everybody. That's wrong because there are good people in the world. There are people that you can trust in the world. It's just my picker was off. And I said that at one point. Yeah, I just don't trust anybody. When I had a bookkeeper walk off with all my money and almost close my business, when I had people bashing me and it was my competitors and not my customers, when I had to go homeless and all this kind of stuff, I could have said the same thing. I do that with my relationships. But you know what? That's putting everybody in a big pot and stirring it up and saying, I don't trust anybody. That's not healthy. Again, you're letting your feelings control. You're not looking at the facts. You're not s- being listening to your spirit because your spirit will tell you if you listen to your aura and listen to the other person's energy when you get closer to them and you look them straight in the eyes, you will get your answer if that person is a good person or not. But that's something that you have to train yourself to do because, again, people think this. All right. So, whatever is going on and the hurt and the pain and everything, you're in the middle of it. It's time to adjust and change that and awaken to what it is you want and how to go about getting it because you can get what you want, but you've got to eliminate the garbage. You've got to put out the trash. You got to not be distracted. It's like, you know, yeah, we're all attracted to a good looking person, right? But the thing is that person's heart good? And it's like, oh God, dang, he's good looking. It's like, and then they open their mouth or I look in their eyes or their energy and I'm like, mm-mm, thank you, but no thank you. All right. So again, this is a month of switching your decisions up to stop those cycles, okay? Don't run away from it because it's going to scare the shit out of somebody. Don't run away from it. Run towards it because something that you fear is going to try to push you away. That's that low vibration trying to keep you stuck. That's the devil card trying to keep you stuck. And the thing is, you don't want to run away from it. You want to run towards it. It's like, no, you SOB, I am not going to allow you to do this anymore. I've learned this lesson. Bye. And if that's meaning block a phone number, block whatever, then you have to do it. All right. All right. So let's go to career and see what's going on for somebody's career for this next week. It could be for also. Oh, okay. This will be a good one. I'd like to see this one for me. I can't do readings for myself. I do once in a while pick a card, but definitely I just can't do it for me. I have to go to somebody else. But I'm very picky at who I listen to. There's only like two people I listen to right now. But that's for me. That's the energies that they give me. That's who Divine wants me to listen to. All right. All right. Energies for this week in careers for the general. Please give the energies for career, their job. Somebody's being awoken to why am I here? Okay, for their career. Why am I here? Okay. Welcome, Dylan. Oh, thank you. Well, maybe you're listening to the coaching part of me, and that's okay because tarot is cards. Tarot is paper, guys. Tarot is paper. It is carrying the energy of the person reading it. And that person, where are they connected to? Are they connected to divine? Are they connected to what? And if you talk about tons of spirits, are they connected? What kind of spirits are they connected to? So, yeah, I agree. You're fine with that. But it might be because I'm a boomer and because I've lived life and I have education and experiences, a lot of more of life experiences than anything. But thank you for that. I appreciate you very, very much. You're a warrior too, because if you're on this earth, you're a warrior because you're fighting all kinds of battles. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on for somebody in their career for this week. Are these upside down? No. Tower, told you. Told you. I told you in the very beginning. I would be surprised if the tower or the devil didn't come up, but the tower is up. So we've got the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay. This is a good thing because if you have the Nine of Swords in the upright, that means you're struggling about figuring something out. You're having a hard time. And then this could be in relation to careers, health, love, whatever it is. But the thing is, this is sort of something coming to fruition that this is what I need to do about my career. Maybe you need to change. Maybe you're in a lower position and you're like, you know what? I need to get my act together because I want to be in management. I want to be a CEO. I want to be, but you have to educate yourself in order to do that. So somebody's getting their act together, which is going to change things because the Knight of Coins is in reverse, Pentacles, and you have the Tower. So things are changing, and this is really great because again, this is an awakening for somebody in their career or their jobs. Do you know the difference between a job and a career? There's a big difference. The job is something that usually is temporary. It's not something that you really have a passion. It's just to get you the bills paid kind of a thing. Whereas a career is something that you desire. You have a vision. And again, we're talking about vision boards in the very beginning. This is something that you need to post up. And if you're not there now with your career, it means that you'll be getting there if you. I'll give you an example. When my daughter was 4, she's an empath too, but she doesn't realize it. She's a visionary. This girl can envision stuff that you would not believe, and I'll explain in a minute. However, when she was 4 years old and I took her to Disneyland for the first time for a 3-day vacation, and we were there, and I was like, okay, this is the beginning of something. I don't know what it is, but this is the beginning. She's going to be doing something with Disney all her life. And I wasn't really a Disney person. I just wanted to take her. Single mom, broke. How can I take her on a small vacation? That's not going to break me even worse than where I was. So I took her. Okay. So you fast forward. I had the ability through thank you taxes, getting taxes back. I would take her to Disneyland and I would take her friends because her friends, we got to remember I was poor, or I shouldn't say poor, poor. I was lower middle class, put it that way, and a struggling single mom. So if I would go to Disney World or Disneyland, I would take one of her friends. I would say to their parents, hey, if you want to pay for the airplane and the food, I will pay for the hotel so that they can go together and have fun. And because I knew that mom and dad probably could never afford to go, then I wanted to do that for them. So we would go and we would have fun and we would do that. But something inside kept telling me, again, this is that awakening, if you're having it, that she's going to be doing something with Disney. I don't know what it is, but this is going to be a lifelong thing. And so she gets to college, long story short, first college fizzled out. We had to send her to Georgia. That one wasn't doing so well either. And then I get a call and she goes, Mom, I applied for the Disney college program. And I'm like, what? Wow. Okay, great. Out of 3,000 applicants, they took 300. She was one of them. Wow. So she goes back to California and she's in the Disney college program. I'm like, what are you doing out there? The universe, right? Okay, it doesn't end there. So then what happens? So she finishes the college program, and they gave them 40 hours a week at that point in time. And so she says, I want to work for them. And I'm like, okay, great. So we send her back down. She's living with a family, but they only give her 10 hours a week. She can't afford to do that. So she comes back home. I don't know what to do. So she says, I'm going to finish college, going to go finish college. She goes back down to California, lives with the same family, goes to school down there. She meets several of the Imagineers, but you got to remember, she put it out there. Okay, this is the awakening part. What are the things I need to do in my career, in my job? What is it that I need to make the baby steps or whatever? Okay, so she started meeting some Imagineers that were retired. Some of them were working for Universal, some of them are whatever. But she's like, how do I do this? Because it's very competitive. How do I do this? So then she puts in 30 internship applications. She said, Mom, I did 30 in internships. And I was like, okay, so they picked her up. Disney picked her up. So she has a year-long internship in Florida with Disney and in one of their creative departments. Fall in place and pay attention. I don't know where it's going. Don't know what it's going to do, but I'm just going to listen. If divine moves me there, if the universe moves me there, then there is a reason. And I've always said that for my life. Okay, if divine wants me to move, I'll move. You have to make the way, but I will move. Okay, so this is something that is sometimes really hard and takes a lot of strength because you have to release. You have to say, you know what, this isn't working. I really want my life to work, whatever it is, my career to work, because you have the Knight of Cups and you have the Strength card again. Okay. You have the Knight of Cups and the Strength card again. So the Knight of Cups is moving toward your passion of what you want in your career, what you want in your life, your future, not a job, whatever that is, because this is the time of awakening and stop going by your feelings and going more for by what you're being driven to. Okay. Because that is where things, and for whoever this is, or I forgot, I apologize. I think it was Mitz wanting peace. Okay. So this is the something that you really, really want. Then you have to go for it and you have to make those baby steps because it's tower time, baby. It's tower time. All right. All right. I don't know if anybody else is listening, but if you want to ask questions, this is a good time. I have to get going here because I need a haircut, guys. I haven't been able to take care of my hair for 6 months. So this is time. Right, Kicho? I have a little French bulldog. She sits by me every reading, listening patiently. All right. But if anybody has any questions, again, this is just for the week of the 10th. You know, things can keep going and changing through that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Share. Make sure you share with your friends. Make sure you share with your friends. And if they don't like tarot, let them say, hey, this boomer that is a life coach and transformation coach, and divinewarriorintuitive.com, it has not just my tarot and stuff, but I think Get Balanced 2020 is on there. So Get Balanced 2020 is my other YouTube channel that has, I think, 40 or 70 videos on just life in general, communication, love. There is a sexual abuse series there because I help people with that because I'm a survivor of that. But the thing is, there's all kinds of on Get Balanced 2020. That's my secular channel. This is more my spiritual channel. But when you go to my website, they're conjoined, and there's all kinds of things on there. So you can do nutrition, fitness. If you just have a question, I answer all comments. If you email me, I answer all them. I do personal readings, personal coaching, that kind of a thing. But I do ask that you please subscribe or hit the all notifications because, again, I'm on there once a week, at least live once, maybe twice. But also too, because I don't have the time to record and then edit, because I do that for my leather channel. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. You have no idea. I really do appreciate it. Because on my leather channel, I do a lot of videos for the Leather Lady LLC, and I'm teaching on there. And to edit takes, I can shoot a 10-minute video, and it'll take me hours to edit. And so a lot of the times right now, working my day job with, you can see all the paraphernalia. You can figure out who I work for. It's not this one. It's the opposite one. But trying to leave that so I can be doing leather and this full time. So trying to enjoy life a little bit and get peace like you guys. All right. So I hope this was enjoyable. Please subscribe, share, like, and don't forget to love yourself. You are a warrior, you are in a spiritual battle, and you find that highest frequency. Don't lower it, don't get into your feelings and emotions. Look at the facts, look at the red flags, and honor those red flags as a thank you for showing you what's not supposed to be in your life or who's not supposed to be in your life. Rather, and also if there's a breakup, don't say, hey, woe is me, blah blah blah. Yeah, let your hurt happen. It is a grieving process. However, say thank you for having that happen, because that's not my person and that's not what I want in my life, rather than trying to manipulate and bring them back in. Okay, because then you begin to lower your vibrations and you lower the love for yourself, if that makes sense. All right. All right, guys, I love you. Please take care. Say hello, share, subscribe, like, comment. I would love it. All right. See you on the next live video. All right. Take care.